Another set of calculations that we usually like to make when it comes to statistical calculations is measures of central tendency. As you've learned in your textbook, those three different measures are range, variance, and standard deviation. So what we're going to do is, with this set of data up here, we're going to see how Excel can help us in calculating those values. Range, the first one, is a fairly simple calculation. We know that the range of any set of data is the largest value minus the smallest value. Now, interestingly enough, there's no equation or function built into Excel to take a set of data and calculate range. However, what we can do is this. We can first identify the maximum and minimum values of a set of data using built-in functions. Let's start with maximum. To calculate the maximum set or the maximum value in a set of numbers, just like all the other equations that we have and will learn, you start by hitting the equal sign, and then we're going to type in max. So the function max will return the value from a list of numbers that gives the maximum value in that list. So we do equals max parenthesis. I'm going to highlight all of the numbers in my set, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. And it returns the maximum value as 765. For minimum, it's same process, just a different function. So I'm going to hit equals, and instead of max, I'm going to type in min for minimum. Parenthesis, again, select my set of data, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Now we can easily verify that it accurately picked the maximum and minimum value in this set because we're working with a smaller set of data. Now to calculate the range, which is what we're really after, it's as simple as doing the maximum value minus the minimum value. And we can write that equation. I'm going to start by hitting my equal sign, and then I'm going to select the maximum value, and you'll notice it puts in D7, which is the location of the cell that the max value that we just selected on is in. And then I can hit my minus button, and then I can select the minimum value. And you'll notice again it selects D8, which is where the minimum value is that we just selected. So with that, my equals my max minus my min, I'm going to hit enter, and it calculates that value for me. So we know that the range of our data set here is a range of 642. The next measure of central tendency that you've learned up to this point is variance. And related to it would be the third one, standard deviation. Now you've probably worked through in homework already trying to calculate variance and standard deviation with pencil and paper, and you've probably come to dread having to do that. It's a long drawn-out process that takes a significant amount of time, even with a small set of data. Thankfully, Microsoft Excel can help us tremendously with this. So to calculate variance, it literally is as simple as hitting your equal sign and typing in VAR. VAR is the function in Excel for variance. So VAR, parenthesis, and then all I'm going to do is select my set of data again, close the parenthesis, and hit enter. Now seeing that done, you may be really relieved to know a way to calculate it so quickly, but also frustrated at the same time knowing how much time it took you to calculate it on pencil and paper and how quickly you can now do it in Excel. So there's variance, and standard deviation is just as simple. There's actually two ways we could approach this. The first way would be to calculate standard deviation based on the variance. We know that the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So you notice I hit equal again, and if I hit or type in SQRT, that is the function in Excel for calculating the square root. So SQRT, parenthesis, select my variance, close parenthesis, and hit enter. And you'll notice I end up with 178.3527. So again, really quickly able to calculate standard deviation, where in the past it took us quite a significant amount of time. Another way to calculate standard deviation, rather than finding the square root of the variance, would be to actually use the standard deviation function in Excel. So we hit our equal sign and we type in STDEV. So STDEV stands for standard deviation. We're going to open parenthesis, highlight all of the data, close parenthesis, and hit enter. And you'll notice it came up with the same exact value that we just got using the square root of our variance, 178.3527. The reason this second method may be more useful to you is you don't have to find the variance before finding the standard deviation. You can just go straight to the standard deviation. And as you'll find out as we move forward, variance is used every once in a while, but standard deviation is used everywhere. So it's often really nice to just go straight from our set of data to our standard deviation calculation. So there's finding the measures of central tendency, range, variance, and standard deviation using Microsoft Excel. Hopefully that allows you to be able to move through your homework problems quickly and efficiently with accurate numbers.